Hello everybody, my name is Xaphan, and welcome back to some more Everlasting Summer. Now, I don't remember what happened in the last episode. I just can't remember. Oh no, it was something to do with cake. We're getting a cake or something. So, without further ado, let's get back into it. I feel like I visited the infirmary too often recently. But what can I do? That's how things pan out. I sighed and knocked on the door. Viola. Fuck. Come in. Ah! Shit! About to see some hot... Fucking... Yep! Good hot nurse! Yep! Yep! The nurse said with a trace of a sing-song accent. Oh, baby! Yeah! Good afternoon. Olga sent me to get some. I hesitated slightly. Yeast? Ah, sure. She gave me a broad smile, told me to drop my pants, and then she'll give me the yeast. Oh god, that's disgusting. It's just that I don't have any, Pioneer. How so? She said that, well, I had some, but now there's none left. I didn't even bother asking why she had it in the first place. Well, don't you worry. You can have some aspirin, for example. That could be of some use to me, actually. Where do I get it, then? I sighed. Take this. She opened the drawer and pulled out some kind of bottle. Ostankino was a well-known brand of cheap beer in USSR. I take a closer look. It was beer. Huh? What's the matter? Beer is also a fermented product. She gave me a deep gaze. Nobody will even notice. She had a point, but everything just looked so grotesque to me that I couldn't find anything to say. Are you sure? Absolutely. Move back down there. Okay then. The bottle clearly wouldn't fit in my pocket of my shorts. Well, thanks. I mumbled shyly, leaving the infirmary. Infirmary? Fuck, I can't do words today! Jesus Christ. I need to turn down my air conditioner. It's getting too cold, making my mouth too dry. God damn. Well, beer certainly could replace yeast. Even my limited knowledge of chemistry and biology was enough to accept this, and this feel-good music wasn't helping either. Generally walking around with this bottle in my hands looked like a silly idea to me, so I decided to bring it to Olga's cabin and hide it there. But I had to reach it somehow without anybody noticing the beer. I hid the bottle under my shirt. Oh, it looks like you got a boner! Everything would have been fine, but Slavia called out to me at the square. Actually, she sprang out from behind me so suddenly that I even gave a start. How's it going? What exactly? You search for ingredients? So you already know. Yes, I do. Slavia smiled. It's going alright. I answered, trying not to give away my unrest. What do you have there? She pointed at the bottle sticking out from under my shirt. This? She got me. Oh, it's nothing. I blushed with a silly giggle. It's time to go. I was almost running, leaving the square, with the puzzled Slavia behind. It's great that she is one of those people who don't ask unnecessary questions. But there are people in this camp who like nothing better than to poke their noses into other people's business. Passing the pioneers' cabins, I stumbled upon Uliana. Oh god! What are you hiding there? She gave me one of her cheeky looks. I thought there was no point in denying anything, so I replied in a provocative manner. It's none of your business. I'm a cipher officer bearing a message to the headquarters. That's certainly a big message. I was carrying the bottle at waist height, so it was slightly embarrassed. You want some help? Fuck off! I'll deal with it on my own. I walked past her confidently and proceeded on my way. To my surprise, she didn't say anything, nor try to pursue me. There was nobody at Olga's cabin, so I successfully managed to stuff the bottle under my bed. Good! Once I got outside, I sighed with relief. Really, I couldn't believe that I would ever worry that much about a single bottle of beer. Oh, I missed that. It's a good thing it's safe now. Even if somebody finds it, I'll claim that's not mine. I could always think up, oh god, I'm drinking too much drinks. It's breaking me. It's making the gases inside of me expand. Of a suitable excuse for my enormous experience. Clubhouse shall be next. It feels like I've gone through more things today than all the previous days combined. Thus approaching the clubhouse, I'd even forgotten to think about how awkward it must be to look for sugar there. Give me some sugar. Oh god, oh that is weird. Shurk and Electronic were enthusiastically building something. They were so busy that they didn't even notice me. Notice me, senpai. Notice me. I looked closely. It was some kind of robot. Or at least the body of one. Moreover, this robot was female and had animal ears. I didn't want to make up theories about purpose of such a device for the luminaries of the camp cybernetics. Even though the design looked practically workable, I had my doubts about this robot ever being able to conquer Earth, or at least being able to do anything on its own. But they seemed to be enjoying the process more than the end result itself. And that was something we shared, even though I didn't want to admit it. On the other hand, they weren't afraid of possible failure, criticism, or jokes. They were working towards their goal without paying attention to the others, who would call it unrealistic or even absurd. Oh, it looks like I'm truly comparing them to luminaries of the sciences. Hey guys, I greeted them uncertainly. Oh, Semyon, come in, bruh. We're always glad to see you, bruh. I was actually already inside. You know, bruh, sorry for what happened yesterday, bruh. I barely remember anything but bruh. Well, bruh. Never mind, it's okay. And what brings you to our humble abode, brah? Electronic looked at me slyly. Sometimes I feel that he makes such a face when he knows something about the other person. Something he can use in a right moment. Sugar. I need sugar. An image from an ancient video game suddenly came into my mind, where some kind of unit like a builder or something cried out with all of its 5-pixel stature, "Gold! We need more gold!" "We got it, brah," said Electronic calmly. "Why do you want it, brah?" I felt that I should explain to Shurk that they want to bake a cake for him. But I shouldn't spoil the surprise. I don't know. Olga told me to get some. Okay, hang on, brah. Electronic disappeared behind the door into the next room. And why do you have sugar here, and why not in the canteen? When the food truck came last night, it was the last thing to unload, brah. And given that our building is the closest one to the entrance, they decided to leave it here to save some effort, brah. That's reasonable, isn't it? The door opened, revealing Electronic hauling a huge bag behind him. I really don't know what the size of the cake will be, but that was obviously too much sugar. Well, thanks, but I don't need it all. But where would we put it, brah? Electronic gave me a surprised look. We don't have a place for it, brah. You asked for sugar, so take it, brah. It seems that the previous smile of his wasn't there without reason. Maybe you'll help me then? It's not that far to carry. We're busy, brah. He pointed his hand at the robot. I gazed at Shurk. He owed me after all. He hesitated and then looked away in shame. Shurk, you fucking asshole! I sighed and took the bag and headed to the door. Thanks. Anyway, I said at parting, exerting myself. But I didn't make it too far. Just after a mere 20 meters, I'd put the bag down to have a rest. I had no idea how much it weighed, but it felt like more than 20 kilos. Fuck me! Bag of sugar, more than 20 kilograms? What the hell, man? On the one hand, it was just 200 meters to the canteen. On the other hand, such a distance with this payload on my shoulder, or alternatively, in my hands, or on my legs, or under my arm, or even on my head, looked impossible for me to cover. And as I resigned myself to move in minor sprints with prolonged pauses between them, so I could get there by 9 at least, I heard a voice behind me.
Maybe I can help you?
Lena! Ah! You saving grace! You shy saving grace, you! I saw Lena in front of me. I don't think you can. It was one of those moments when I felt painfully... I can't read today. Okay, I'm tired because I spent all day working on my car today. I was actually sound deadening it for my build, and it took me all fucking day. It's fucked. It was one of those moments when I felt painfully how dramatic I was out of shape.
I can bring a handcart.
A handcart. Why didn't I think of that myself? Yes, that would be great. Oh, she's stuck! You ought to look at her, she's doing a smile.
Wait here, I'll be right back.
Thanks, Lena! She smiled and ran in the direction of the square. What would I do without her? It's good that Lena isn't always that shy and can take the initiative sometimes. I started to think. She seemed quite unusual now, with no trace of shyness on her face, and actually the complete opposite. Smiles and confidence. The offer of help wasn't something extraordinary by itself, but getting it from Lena. She's back! With a big smile on her face. A few minutes later, she came back with a smallish handcart. I put the bag down on it. Thanks.
Don't mention it.
She blushed and looked down. Oh, the Lena we all know is back.
So, I'll go then.
Yes, see you. And thank you again. I shouted after her. Sometimes I felt like there are two different people living inside of Lena. But the second one, confident, happy, and sometimes even bold, only appears when she talks to me. Maybe because I have a massive cock! Or am I making things up again? I thought that it would be better if I get all the ingredients at once, so I headed to Olga's cabin with the handcart. Oh, okay. Cool, that's cool, that's wonderful. Library. If every other place on the cake ingredient list made at least some sense to me, then flour from the library made none. I thought hard about who would put it in the library and why, but couldn't find any sane explanation after all. Given Xenia's harsh nature, I'd better knock first. Yeah, she's a bit of a bitch, yo. Open! I can't remember her voice. Xenia peered at me closely from behind her glasses. What do you want? That's it, I did it. Don't think anything weird, but I didn't want to look like an idiot and decided to explain things carefully. I need some flour. Olga said that it's here. I understand that sounds strange to keep flour in the library, but I was sent to you, and it's needed for a cake, so to celebrate Shirk's rescue. Yes, I have the flour. What's so strange about it? Xenia replied with surprise. At that second, I felt like I'd been hit on the head with a heavy weight and lost the ability to understand anything at all. Flour in the library. Sure, what's so strange about it? We're in Wonderland. I'm Alice, and now I'm gonna eat the magic mushroom, and I'll be back home. Hey! Yeah? I was daydreaming. Wait here, I'll be right back. Fucking hell, she's a bitch, maybe because I make her sound like a bitch, but she probably ain't no bitch. She disappeared behind the bookshelves while I folded my hands and started to wait. A moment later, the sound of trapdoor groaning on its hinges reached me. Hey, you need some help? Are you stuck in a dishwasher? I inquired loudly. I'll deal with it! Xenia barked out to me. She seems to be in the basement, so I'll have to wait a little. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. A few minutes passed, but Xenia still hadn't returned. I was starting to get worried when the door was suddenly flung open and Alyssa came into the library. She's got a shirt tied up. She looked surprised too, seeing me here. What are you doing here? Am I not allowed to be here? I said rudely to her. Alyssa was clearly a bit overwhelmed. What do I care? She snorted and headed to Xenia's table. And why are you here then? Alyssa measured me with her eyes carefully and almost opened the mouth to say something, but then seemed to change her mind and turned away, hiding her hands behind her back. Returning a book, I blurted the first thing off the top of my head. It's none of your business, and my boobs are bigger this way. She replied with a hint of hesitation. What book is it? Alyssa was silent. Well, come on, let's see it. I wonder what Miss High Voltage Keep Away reads. It's none of your business. Her voice was even less confident. Okay, I don't insist or anything. In fact, I was quite interested to find out what Alyssa was reading. Moreover, I was quite amused to see a book in her hands. TV, movies, or a computer, if one were available here, all these things seemed to be much more appropriate entertainment for a girl like her. She had a book instead. Try to snatch the books. Yeah, let's be playful! What are you doing? No. My curiosity won. I struck at the right moment. When Alyssa was looking away from me, I snatched the book. Ouch! She screamed. In the following second, her face took on such an expression that it made me question my decision. If I'm about to die, at least I will know what for. I held a copy of Gone with the Wind in my hands. It was the same book that Lena was reading that evening on the bench. I was so astonished that I completely forgot about my imminent death. Is it interesting? She's blushing, god damn it. Yeah, Alyssa answered without any enthusiasm, blushing. Okay then. I handed the book back to her. Alyssa threw it on the table and left the library quickly without looking at me. So human things aren't alien to her. In the end, she too is a girl. After a quick review of everything that just happened, I concluded there was actually nothing that strange. Finally, Xenia's deep groan rang out, reaching each and every corner of the library. Grab it! I passed by the bookshelves and beheld the perspiring librarian sitting near the trapdoor, leading in the basement with a small sack next to her. Well, they might have some sort of storehouse down there. Thanks. I took the sack and left the library. Thank goodness it wasn't too heavy, so I carried it down to Olga's cabin without too much effort. Finally, it seems that everything had been collected. I took the handcart with the sugar outside, put the sack with the flour in it, followed with the 2 baskets of strawberries that somehow fitted in between, and the beer that was hidden under my shirt, just in case. The day was coming to its end, so I had to hurry, as cake itself will need to have some time to bake. Of course, I'd rather enjoy lying down, closing my eyes and getting decent sleep, but I just couldn't let Olga down. Her big, meaty boobs. Her boobs, brah, her boobs. Indeed, after all the trouble I'd gone to, I hadn't felt personally responsible for the success of this event. Coming to the square, I stopped for a moment to catch my breath. It wasn't that the cart that was heavy. It ran smoothly without any noticeable effort required. It was just that any physical exertion caused pain to me now, both a physical and a mental one. Oh, we're down a sleepy. I sat down on the bench and closed my eyes for a moment. What's that? I didn't really give a damn who it was, probably just a fellow pioneer girl, taking interest in an unfamiliar companion in distress. What are you talking about? I asked her tiredly. She didn't reply. Those are the ingredients for a cake. Do you like cakes? I don't know. What? You've never tried cake? I don't know. Obviously, the girl didn't get what I was talking about, but it didn't surprise me at that moment. I really wasn't interested in this conversation. I was so tired that I had zero intention of classifying external distractions and tagging them as either common or uncommon. I see. Come down to the canteen later and have a bite. Really? Really. What are they made of? What? I asked indifferently. These cakes. Well, flour, sugar, various fillings. Now that's a strange question. Doesn't she know what cakes are made of?
And you have it all here?
Yeah, sort of.
And sugar?
And sugar.
Could you lend me a little?
What for? I thought it was over the top. A sudden gust of wind made me grab the cart instinctively and open my eyes. However, no... Oh, no one was there! Oh, this is getting interesting! Am I daydreaming? I noticed, though, that the sugar sack was untied and a small heap of it had poured out. Could it be that she was scared by the wind and ran away? Having fixed the sack, I got up from the bench and continued on my challenging strawberry way. There wasn't a single person near the canteen. No wonder dinner was still an hour away. I brought the handcart to the rear exit and handed the foodstuffs to the camp cook. She must have already been told what to do with them, as she gave me such an unpleasant look. I'm not sure how long it takes to bake a cake, but it seems she had to hurry. I just wanted to relax for the remaining time up until dinner. In short, I was so tired that I just sat on the steps and waited. Close my eyes again! My eyes closed themselves. I guess I got so tired throughout the day that I didn't even notice how someone came up to me until they patted me on the shoulder. Oh, it's... I don't want... No! I don't want this! Why? I don't want this, man. This is something that I don't want, okay? This is something that I really don't want.
Hi!
Miku is standing before me, yeah? I didn't need a mirror to imagine the expression of skepticism and annoyance on my face.
Oh, excuse me, I must have interrupted you.
No problem, I was just sitting here.
Oh, alright then.
Miku beamed me with a smile.
I was just coming to dinner. I thought that's time already, and then it appeared to me that it's too early, but I decided to check in just in case. Maybe it's not me who's mistaken, but the clock is. Well, not the clock. Clocks can't be mistaken. It's just that I misread it.
She seemed to be ultimately confused now and fell silent. It's still about half an hour before dinner.
Oh, that's great. Then I'll sit here and wait with you if you don't mind.
Frankly speaking, I do mind. You know, I have some matters to attend to. I stood up quickly and left without saying goodbye, ignoring Miku as I always did, while she screamed something after me. A minute later, I got to the square and sat on the bench with the firm intention of finding a quiet and safe place here to wait for dinner. I think this is the first time in the last 4.5 days when I've felt like this. I wasn't just irritated because of some insignificant details, but indeed, I was really angry. Completely stopped caring about where I am and why am I here. I don't care about how to get out either. What's driving me mad is that I always have to carry out some stupid task given by a camp leader, and it's always me who gets into the stupid situations, and sometimes even ends up looking like a clown. If all of this is some alien trick or a plot of the universal mind, they better consult with their psychiatrist. I gritted my teeth and clenched my fists. The most annoying thing is that everything that happens to me seems to happen by itself somehow. I'd be happier not having to carry around bags of sugar that weigh a ton, but I had no choice at all. I mean, any other option would lead to much worse consequences than a muscle strain or hurt pride. Who are you angry with? Oyana was standing in front of me and smiled slyly. Nobody, really. I answered absently, but my fists gave me away. Just like that. Okay, it's up to you. You better tell me, why did you run around the camp the whole day with some kind of bags? I had to, I replied reluctantly. I guess it was food. Maybe it was. Oyana was about to say something, but at that moment, the bell rang, calling the pioneers for dinner. I sighed in relief and quickly headed to the canteen, leaving Oyana behind. Oh, fuck me. Robot bitch! Robot bitch is back!
Semyon, thank you very much.
For what? The camp leader gave me a friendly smile.
For the cake, of course.
Sure. It was at that exact moment that I understood the true meaning of the saying, keep your thanks to feed your cat. I've never heard that saying.
You didn't tell anybody? This ought to be a surprise.
Yeah.
That's my boy. Now off you go to dinner.
Olga waved her hand, pointing at the canteen. Speaking about dinner, I need a drink. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the stuff. Energy! I stepped through the doorway slowly and started to look for a free place. Turned out there were plenty today, so I got a chance to eat alone. There was fish with mashed potatoes for dinner. What misfortune once again, I'll be left half hungry. And didn't we have fish for lunch? Is it a fish-only day today? Having pushed my plate with the fried sea dweller away, I laid my head on my hands and closed my eyes. But soon somebody came up to the table.
Hey, are you alright?
I'm fine, I replied without changing my position.
Just tired?
Yeah, a little.
That's bad.
Slavia said it seriously. Of course.
You remember that we are going to go for the hike after dinner, don't you? Have you prepared everything?
What? Nobody told me about a hike? I'm not a hiking boy, alright? I'm a VR boy. I'm a gamer. I don't do hikes. What? Where? Opened my eyes and lifted my head up instantly. Lena was standing by Slavia.
The hike?
She was surprised.
Didn't you know?
No. I put my head down on the table and covered it with my hands. If only I could sink into the ground right away. The girls remained silent. I was left alone with my thoughts for some time, and that was fine by me. Maybe I could have sat that way until the end of dinner time. The strong voice of Olga was heard from the opposite end of the canteen.
Guys, to celebrate the miraculous rescue of our friend and comrade Shark, we baked this cake for you all!
I lifted my head idly and looked towards the camp leader, but couldn't see anything beyond the pioneers' backs.
A second, just a second.
And nothing about me. Nothing about me rescuing Shark or gathering the ingredients for the cake. As if that's how it ought to be. Well, it would be wrong to expect anything else from our camp leader.
Let's go, or we won't get a share.
Slavia smiled.
Let's go.
Lena agreed. Yeah, sure. I got up reluctantly and tagged along behind the girls. I would kill to hang out with some girls, man. It doesn't happen here in Australia. No, they just want the boys with the Pidgeotto haircuts. As we approached the crowd of pioneers, Olga was just putting the cake in the center of the table.
And now?
Ah, fuck. The camp leader wasn't able to finish as Olyana rushed out from the pioneer crowd and dived into the cake. She managed to nibble it a few times before she was pulled away. And she was kicking and screaming. I stared blankly from the outside at all this drama. Alyssa smiling, Lena picking up some cream with their finger, all the furious pioneers around. Felt completely out of place here. I thought that if I closed my eyes down and opened them again, here I am, back to the safety of my apartment in front of my computer. Maybe? Nope. I blinked but nothing changed, only the noise and the confusion became sharper.
Olyana, that's the limit.
Well, in fact, behaving like this is a bit over the top even for her. Shirk broke into the conversation. Or is it a court-martial?
Please, Olga, brah. Since the cake is celebrating my return, it's no big deal.
He hesitated.
It doesn't matter.
The camp leader turned to Olyana. And you!
Today you're gonna punish you to the fullest extent, so you'll behave next time. Whatever.
She snorted and turned back.
You won't be going on the hike with us tonight. As if I wanted to.
I was more than willing to switch places with Ilyana and skip the hike instead of her, but who knew? If I had to have guessed beforehand, I'd have been the first one to go berserk and smash the damn cake. After a couple of minutes of confusion, the pioneers started to disperse.
You have to get ready too. There'll be a lineup at the square in half an hour.
I looked straight in the eyes of the camp leader, trying to express my attitude non-verbally, but seems to have failed.
Don't be late.
Ilyana was sitting at the table when I approached her on my way to the exit. So why did you do it? She looked very upset, but she had a right to be so.
I wanted to,
Ilyana replied abruptly. So you're happy now?
Course I am. And you, good luck with the hiking.
She smiled mischievously, sprang up and rushed out of the canteen. Well, a little bit of luck wouldn't hurt. Walk and you shall reach. It was exactly this proverb that kept whirling in my head all the way down to the camp leader's cabins. Somehow I just couldn't manage to argue, to pretend that I'm sick, or to just skip it without a reason. The events of this day taught me a submissiveness, although sometimes whatever was happening made no sense to me. As I walked in, I had a thought. Well, in fact, how should I get ready? Clothes only have an overcoat and a pair of jeans. Anyway, I forgot to ask whether it's going to be an overnight hike or not. I couldn't think of anything better, so I grabbed the sweater that I had on me when I arrived at the camp, and that might be fairly chilly, and shuffled slowly off to the square. All the camp was already there, although it was about 10 minutes before the time Olga had designated. I settled down near the edge and waited patiently. Night was falling. If viewed from the outside, what a fairly comical picture we would make. A crowd of pioneers lined up out of a sheer habit, like they were awaiting a silent command from the bronze Genda. And all this was happening in the scarlet rays of the sunset. And there he is, waving his hand and screaming attack as roaring soldiers with red neckerchiefs charged into battle against some ghostly enemy. But Olga showed up and started to talk instead of Genda. Ugh. Ah, the gases! The gases from the drink!
It seems that everybody is here. Great.
I was so tired that I couldn't even think about anything, so I ended up just listening to the camp leader.
Now today we'll go hiking. It is essential for every pioneer to be able to come and rescue his comrade, to offer a helping hand in their hour of need, saving them from a hopeless situation. We have to learn to do all these things together.
A whisper ran through the pioneer crowd, suggesting that most probably this truly epic expedition would end in a clearing in the forest several hundred feet away from the square. Somehow I thought so too.
We'll walk in pairs. So if you haven't chosen a partner for yourself yet, now's the right time to do so.
Pioneers Quarkley, Captain Quarkley! Caught onto the idea and started the match in pairs. Looked like I was the only one without a partner. Slavia was enthusiastically discussing something with Olga. Lena was with Miku. Electronic was, of course, with Shurik. Well, it might not be a bad idea to go alone after all.
Semyon!
The voice of the camp leader pulled me out of my thoughts. Went up to her reluctantly.
I see that you haven't found a partner.
Seems like it.
Then you'll join Xenia. She's alone too.
I was struck with that special kind of despair that only a true loner can experience. So it appears that I'm left with the prickly librarian that wouldn't risk spending a couple of hours with even if I was paid for it. Fuck, I'm sorry, I can't fucking read today, hey. I'm so fucked. Although we both seem to be in the same boat now. I slowly approached Xenia. Well, I guess we'll be going together. She looked up at me. Didn't you even think that I'm glad? Xenia said seriously. Why on earth you should feel glad? I asked naively.
Never mind. It would be much better if you just shut up.
Couldn't get any better than this. She turned her back on me and followed the other pioneers. I still haven't seen any special reason to walk in pairs. Anyway, we're walking on the well-trodden forest trails, and it would be quite difficult to get lost here even if I wanted to. Moreover, While we'd already been hiking for half an hour, we weren't rushing into the depths of the forest, trying to face all the dangers that could test our courage and harden our pioneer spirits, but instead we were just walking around in circles. However, if we take into account that Olga was our chief, this hike could be compared to a hobbit's march from the Shire to Mordor. Fuck yes! Oh, Lord of the Rings is the best, yo! Just as Xenia insisted, I was following her at a distance in silence. The librarian seemed to be perfectly okay with it. Hey, don't you know when we'll reach our destination?
Our what?
The place where we'll settle down and set up camp.
The whole point of this hike isn't to set up camp, but the hiking itself. You don't get it.
Yeah, it seemed that I didn't understand a thing about hiking.
I guess you're right, but still. I don't know,
she replied sharply and quickened her pace. I caught up with her and asked, Listen, why are you always so, I was about to say mean, but stopped short. I haven't done anything bad to you. And I'm not going to. She glared at me in surprise.
Always, so what?
Well, unsociable, kind of. Or is it something about me?
Oh, cut this stupidity out already.
As you wish. I decided not to start a conversation with her for the rest of the hike. Probably a good idea. Oh, beautiful forest! At last, Olga decided to end this Sisyphean toil. Oh, sorry. Oh, the gases.
It's time to halt.
The place chosen turned out to be quite a large glade with a few tree trunks laid in half circle to make an improvised arbor with the remains of a campfire in the middle. Obviously, such hikes are a tradition of this camp. I was sent to gather firewood with the other boys. It didn't take long because there were a lot of branches and logs of various sizes lying around. Eventually, Olga lit the fire using some old newspapers. I was eager to know what was written there, but couldn't discern anything other than Soviet symbols. Pioneers took their places on the fallen log branches and started to talk about things. Seems that the final goal of this event had been achieved. The only thing missing were a pot of fish soup, aluminium cups of vodka, and a guitar. But I wouldn't be surprised if all these would appear somehow.
What are you thinking about?
Slavia sat next to me. Oh, just how you'd look naked. Nothing special, just enjoying the hike. I answered sarcastically.
You don't look too happy.
Well, I'm not about to jump for joy, sorry about that.
Okay, I won't disturb you.
What the fuck, man? Just ruined your chance, man. Just ruined your chance. Come on, man. Come on, don't do that. Also, shouldn't throw my $300 headphones onto the ground. It's a very bad idea. She sat with me for a while, but after realizing that I wasn't in the mood of talking, she left me to enjoy my introspection all alone. And all I wished was was to lie down in bed and fall asleep as soon as possible, but I was being surrounded by smoke and the useless chatter of pioneers around me instead. They were cheering and laughing, and in general enjoying this warm summer evening. On the far side of the glade, I noticed that Lena was arguing with the listener intensely. Lena! Lena! Damn, girl! Intensely, and Lena seemed like a complete opposite to me. Slavia had left to go somewhere after our conversation, it seems. Electronic and Shurik were trying furiously to prove something to Olga. Looks like I'm the only one who doesn't belong here. See what the two are arguing about. Only Lena and Alyssa stood out among all this splendor. Well, of course, it was quite natural for Alyssa to be arguing with someone like that. But hearing Lena talk in a raised voice, I came closer silently, trying to understand what was going on. And I am going to leave this episode here. Yes, I'm going to do it. You know he did it. You know your boy done it. So remember to like, subscribe, comment, click on that notification button. I'll see all of you beautiful people in the next video. Bye bye.